Hey guys, cinematic transitions are invisible. When it comes to film editing, one of the most powerful tools in an editor's arsenal is actually the invisible cut. This technique, mastered and often employed by legendary editors like Walter Murch, is all about maintaining the seamless flow of the narrative, ensuring that the audience remains completely immersed in the story. Unlike obvious cuts that draw attention to the editing itself, invisible cuts are designed to go unnoticed, preserving the illusion of reality and continuity. Hey guys, the sponsor of this video is actually me and my team. You're actually sitting here in front of a computer right now editing when you should actually be out building relationships with your friends and your family. Click the link in the description to get a crazy discount on our total collection bundle, which will cut your editing time in half and free you away for having to work all day on the computer. I'm gonna give you all of these crazy, incredible effects packs for this crazy low price. Click on the link to support us, but more importantly, to support yourself. Let's talk about Walter Murch for a sec. Walter Murch, and you gotta read his book in the blink of an eye, by the way, is a renowned film editor and sound designer who has been a pivotal figure in bringing the concept of the invisible cut to the forefront of cinematic editing. His work on classic films like The Godfather and Apocalypse Now demonstrates his mastery in this technique. Murch's principles focus on maintaining the narrative rhythm, ensuring that each cut is motivated and unobtrusive. Okay, now let's talk about actually defining the invisible cut. An invisible cut is essentially a transition between two shots that's so smooth, it goes completely unnoticed by the audience. This technique is really crucial in maintaining the illusion of a continuous world in the film, as it helps to prevent the audience from being jarred out of the narrative. The goal is to keep viewers so engaged with the story that they're not continuously aware of the edits that are taking place. Okay, so let's go over a few techniques now for actually achieving these invisible cuts. First technique is called match on action. This involves cutting from one shot to another shot while maintaining continuity in the subject's actions. For example, if a character sits down in one shot, the cut is made mid-action and the movement is completed in the next shot. This continuity of action helps mask the cut. Next technique is called eye trace. This principle is based on the natural movement of the viewer's eye. Now, by understanding how an audience member's eye travels across the screen, an editor is actually able to place a cut in a way that follows this natural movement, thereby making the transition a lot less noticeable. Another technique is called the graphic match. This technique involves matching colors, shapes, or textures between consecutive shots. For instance, a circular shape in one shot can be matched with a similar shape in the next, creating a visual continuity that disguises the cut. Another technique is called sound bridges. This involves extending the sound from one shot into the next shot. This can be extremely helpful in disguising visual cuts. This can be extremely effective in dialogue scenes where the continuation of a character's voice over a cut can make the transition seamless. Invisible cuts have been used to a great effect in many popular films. A classic example is The Godfather, where Murch employs these techniques to create a fluid narrative experience. By analyzing these scenes, we can see how subtle and effective the invisible cut can be. Check out how the match on action technique is being used right here. And check out this sound bridge right here. To master the invisible cut, editors should practice spotting opportunities to use these techniques actually in their own footage. Because it's not just about the mechanics of cutting, but also it's about developing an intuition for rhythm and flow in storytelling. Practicing these techniques will regularly help in developing the skill to execute invisible cuts effectively. All right guys, here's something. Can you guess what the opposite of an invisible cut is? That's right, you guessed it. A very visible one. Check out this next tutorial about deflective transitions. These are cuts that are meant to be seen, and it gets crazy.